How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode in live stream here on Let's Build Twitter. As I said in the last couple episodes, this is the third stream in a row, so hopefully I don't get too worn out here. Last stream actually ended in a bad way because unfortunately the stream crashed. Actually, my entire computer crashed. I'm going to try to record in a different format, so fingers crossed if something does happen in this stream, I should be able to recover it because there's like a MKV or something like that apparently you can recover if it does crash. So fingers crossed nothing happens, but also hopefully if something does happen, we can go ahead and recover that file. So with that being said, as always, if you guys do want access to the private repository, there's a link in the description down below. I walked you through exactly how to do that. In last episode, we just kind of did some debugging. We styled up the post, and we also, I think, we got it so that verified works as well as organization. So we actually made a whole new controller route and stuff like that for organization. I remember that we do have like a private account. So I do want to go ahead and set a private account. And then also with our emoji, it's kind of broken. And I also want to test out whether or not the timestamps work. So we'll probably go through and create a few posts that have like timestamps and whatnot. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into our Java code. And to start out, I want to go ahead and I want to set the nickname because we need the nickname to display on the post. So I'm going to go ahead and say unknown coder here just to make this a little bit better. So good news is that I got our database be persistent. We're still going to lose data whenever refresh because this is on create drop right now instead of like create update or update. So I think maybe if we set to create update, it'll be fine. But now whenever we do restart our Docker, it's not going to clear everything out. But now we should have a nickname. So if I actually create a post, and we need to look into why the post isn't getting created, but we can be like, hello footer and post. We just see why this isn't actually loading onto the feed. This should be loading onto the feed, but it is what it is. So now it says unknown coder. We are verified. It does say 0 minutes, and this is working. Now, of course, I want to test and make sure that this says like 1 hour, 2 hours, so on and so forth, and then all of those other things, but that's fine. So the other thing that I wanted to do is go into application user, and I do want to go ahead and add so here we'll go ahead and say private, and this will be Boolean, and this will be called private account, and we'll have an at column on this, right? And then name will be equal to, and this will be private, whoops, if I could type right, private underscore account, and it'll be nullable. Okay, I could type nullable will equal to true. Let's also set up our getter and setter. So let's go to the bottom and we'll just put getter and setter down here. So the setter or the getter, we're gonna have to kind of set up, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and generate, and let's go ahead and generate getter and setter, both of these. Although I guess I didn't do a verified account because it's called is verified account. Okay, I don't care about that. Interesting. So here we'll say is private account. We're gonna do something similar, is private account, and we're going to go ahead and say same thing we did here. So like this could be null basically. So we'll say if our private account is equal to null, and this should probably be this top private account, but whatever, return false. That way we don't have an issue. Otherwise we'll just do that, and we can do set, and then we can go ahead and get rid of this. Hindsight, probably should use Lombok. I didn't use Lombok because sometimes it can be a pain, but I use Lombok every day with work now, and I kind of like it more and more now that I've done more and more software development in enterprise environments. But that's all we really need. We shouldn't have to set anything else. So that is good to go. So now what we want to do, let's go back into our front end and actually get the lock icon working. So this was inside discovery, and it's going to be in discovery search result. So here, private account, and this, so this gets passed from discovery search dropdown, I believe. So we go to discovery search dropdown. It's going to get passed here. So user, so private account just equal to false. So we need to add this to our user. It's going to have some cascading effects here, so it's fine. So here, user, and we'll just go ahead and put it here. We'll say private account is Boolean, and this should return false or true no matter what. And this is going to break our user slice. So let's fix our user slice. So here, we'll have to come up. Actually, no, we just need to come in here, I think. The rest of it's fine. And below verified account, we'll just say private account is equal to action.payload. dot logged in dot user dot private account. So add that, and I think that's it for here, because I think whenever we verify user and a couple other things, this one, yeah, so we just set the logged in. That's absolutely fine. So now we can come back into our discovery search dropdown. Yeah, so here we want user dot private account, and that should be a boolean, true or false, no matter what, and that should be fine. So we don't have any private accounts now, but now it should show the lock icon if there is one. I don't know if it should be black or if it should be this color. I'm gonna guess that'd be white, right? I have a hard time believing it should be white, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this color in there just to be safe, but there we go. Cool. So that takes care of that, I believe. So now what I kind of want to do is I kind of want to generate some post here. So let's go ahead and come back into our IntelliJ. And I think inside of our footer, we could probably get rid of this. And actually we could save to the role table instead of doing this inside of that data.sql probably. So let's go to data.sql and we'll keep probably some of these. Yeah, we can keep these, that's fine, and keep the users. But first we need to insert the role. So insert into role, insert into roles, and we're just gonna pass in everything. So say values. One, and then I think it was called user. Okay, and then I want to go ahead and insert into users. So we insert into roles, but we need to create the user. So what do we want out of our user? We can add first name and last name. So we'll say first underscore name, last underscore name. We'll add email and username, I guess. So email, username, password. Okay, password's important. So I'm going to grab the password out of the user table because otherwise we won't be able to log back in. So let's copy this guy and let's paste it in here. So come in data, although I don't know why I did that, but we want password so we can log in. Okay, so after password, what else might we want? We need nickname. Bio, I guess we can add bio and nickname. That'll be fine. So bio, we want nickname. What else do we want? We want verified account. Verified account. And then what else do we want? So verified account, private account can just be false, but we can set that. So private underscore account. Okay, I think that's everything we want out of this. And then we'll go ahead and say values. And here, so first name, we'll just put unknown. Second name, coder, email at email.com. This won't help us debug stuff, but it is what it is. Username, unknown coder. Password, we need to grab from our database. So let's grab our password again, copy it, and hopefully this lets us log in. We'll have to see what happens. Paste that guy, and bio can be software engineer. Nickname will just be unknown coder. Verified account will be true, and private account will be false. So now is the fun part of just seeing if this will even work. Insert into, and this is user role junction. And this will probably be 1-1. So let's just see if this runs. Oh, you know what? Values. All right, let's try that. Username unknown coder already exists. Oh, you know what? We can get rid of this code now. So I'm going to just comment it just in case I need it later. I shouldn't need it later, but you never know. All right, one last try. Okay, so now anytime that we reload, we'll just grab it from data.sql. So now we want to set up a couple of posts that have different timestamps, I guess. So we already have one that was from less than an hour ago. So let's go ahead and insert into posts, and we're gonna go ahead and say audience content. So posted underscore date, so reply underscore restriction and scheduled. I probably could have stole this from below, but it's fine. I don't know if we need schedule date because I'm pretty sure that's just going to be null. So I'm going to ignore schedule date. We need author ID. And then pull ID will be false or null. We don't need it because we're not going to set up a pull. Okay. So now we can go ahead and set up some values. So audience will always be 0. We'll need some content. Posted date is going to be something. Reply restriction to be 0. And then scheduled will be false and author ID will be 1. So now let's do one that is more than an hour away. So we can go ahead and say like March 9th at noon. That'd be like 9 hours ago. And so the posted date will be this. I'm a little bit scared about whether or not this will actually be able to be pulled or not. And we'll be able to figure this out pretty quickly. Content be like this was posted over an hour ago, but less than a day. But you know what? I gotta end that. So let's try again. Okay, so this was posted over an hour ago, but less than a day. So that looks good. Now let's do one that's like 4 or 5 days ago. So less than a week. So if I say maybe March 5th, this should be like 4 days ago. So it should theoretically, no matter what I do here, it should say like 4 days ago if I did this right. So fingers crossed. So let's go ahead and paste in the new date. I didn't do what I expected. And it looks like it worked though. So like this timestamp is fine. So that's good. What is going on with this timestamp? It's like posting it twice. I don't know. Let's clean this up. Okay. Save and refresh. Okay. So let's see if we refresh. Okay. 4 days. Cool. So now let's say it's over a week, but it's within this year. Now if we say like 2/05, this should basically say February 5th, Feb 5. I think that's what Twitter does. So that actually worked. And then finally, we already know that this one works. Whoops. We already know this one works. It always says og, whatever. So I'll be darned. It just works. What are the odds? Okay. So that's good to go. And we also got the private account going. So now what we're going to want to do. So I think we want to work on the emoji. So obviously we're having issues with the emoji. If you type here, like F space, and then put like an emoji, it clears everything. So what I want to go ahead and do is hop into VS Code, close out of this. So I think that we're mapping this actually inside of the feed post creator. So let's just close some stuff and come in here. It might actually be in utils. I don't know. We just need to explore a little bit here. Yeah, so here is we have a current post, convert post content to paragraph. And this comes from where? Comes from our emoji utils. Okay, so utils and emoji utils. So what I'm going to do, so instead of sending back a single JSX element, let's actually send back an array of JSX elements and then let's map over them and display it over top of the other thing, right? I'm just going to comment this for now. That way we just have it for ease of access. We'll still export const convert post content. Actually, I'm going to name this convert post content to elements, maybe. We'll still take in the content type string, and now we're going to return a JSX elements array instead. So let's just return, actually let's say let tags equal to, and this will just be a array, and this will be a JSX.elements array, and we'll return those tags. So now what we're going to do is we'll check to see whether or not it is one of those emojis. If it's an emoji, we'll return an image with the class name. If it is not, we'll return a paragraph with the class name. So basically, we'll say let characters type any. I don't know why we need any here. Maybe there's something weird. Array.from. Like, can I not say string? I don't know why I can't say string. Equal to array.from. Maybe there is an issue that we had. I don't know. This should be a string array. Okay, I don't know why I did it like that. We don't need the current p tag. We don't need all of that. But we can go ahead and say for. And I don't know if we even need the index. We could literally probably just say for let char in characters, or is it of? I always forget. I think this one's of, actually. I think it's char of characters. So we'll have that, and what we can go ahead and do and say like if we'll have our emoji image map. Do we want image map? I guess we do. Image map dot find, and then we'll go ahead and find e dot emoji is equal to char. So if it's equal to this, we'll do one thing, otherwise we'll do this. So if this is the case, we will go ahead and say tags dot push. We'll push a image, the class name equal to, I don't know what we do to the class name, but src will be equal to our, I guess we need to have actual image or the actual emoji as well. So we'll also need to, I guess, copy this, let image equal to this, a little bit lazy. So now source will equal to image, alt will equal to emoji image. I could probably say like e dot, I don't know if we have access to e dot, no, I don't have access to e, so that's fine. We'll just say for now emoji image, and what else do we need? I think that's everything we need, except I scuffed that. So we'll push that, we'll just say emoji then. Okay, so if it's an image, we'll push this image, and there's got to be, yeah, so I do have a feed post creator emoji, so let's go and copy this, and that's what we'll put here. And then so there's that. Otherwise what we'll do is we'll say tags.push, and I'm gonna go ahead and push a span with a class name equal to whatever, and we'll just go ahead and throw in that data from the span, and then this will just be char. So basically we're going to just more or less throw this array into a div that we overlay on top of the other thing and call it a day. This should theoretically work. Okay, so now the issue is going to be we don't have, so this should just be char, right? So we can copy this, just say char here. Now theoretically this should just work. Now, obviously it's mad about the convert post content to paragraph, and I'm curious to see if this is even going to end up working, because we're going to do some other work. But let's go ahead and come back into our, wherever it's at, feed post creator.tsx, I think. And now this will be convert post content to elements. Now, I don't know why I didn't have this idea before. This is a lot better idea. And if we come in here, so the old one had a feed post content that dangerously set. So I think we want this class name. And I think we say if there's a current post, and then what we'll do is we'll delete this, clean this up a little bit, and we'll say div class name. I think I copied the class name, div class name, and then do one of these. And then what we'll have to do inside is we'll have to do a convert post content to elements, and we can pass in that state.post.current post.content. So as long as there's a current post, there should be I guess if there's not content, it'll just be nothing. So we're going to do some work on the HTML itself, but we want to go ahead and say this dot map. I think, I wonder what happens if we just have an array of this here. Like, I wonder if we even need to map anything. I feel like you should. I think you have to. You don't have to. Except I'm kind of off a little bit. It just works. That's what I wanted to see. Well, kind of just works. Obviously, styling is off. So I guess the styling didn't work. Oh. Class name equal to this. So I scuffed this. But the class name is definitely not doing anything on the other ones. Now let's see. Does it go over the top? It does. Now obviously the spacing is a little bit off, but this is already looking better. Yeah, okay, so now what we need to do is we might also need to like make sure that this like moves down, but let's see what's going on with this. So apparently these class names aren't doing anything, although I didn't put a class name on the span. So let's go ahead and add this here, and we were already using a span, so maybe this will just work. I don't know what this looks like. How far is this off? I think that looks really good. So we had an issue with going over. So say what's poppin', brand new. Let's throw a whip in there. Let's go to the car, brand new whip. Just hopped in. Now this is the part that's also scuffed. Yeah, I got options. Okay, so we got to figure out how to wrap this properly. So we almost do still need to merge words together, which is what I was having issues with. We could say let current word equal to an empty string. We could say if the char is not equal to a space character, then we'll go ahead and say current word plus equal to char. Else, so we'll want to go ahead and say, I wish I wouldn't have deleted that, I guess, tags.push, and we'll go ahead and push the span here. So I think no matter what, it's going to be easier because this is going to be individual components. And we'll go ahead and push the current word in that span. We'll also push another span with just a white space. So go ahead and do that. I think we have to do that to get it actually to white space. And then current word will equal to an empty string again. So let's see if this will work. I don't know. We might have to also work on, now it's really scuffed. Interesting. So we could say here tags.splice, and we'll say tags.length -1. Now the issue here will be, it could be -1. So we might go ahead and put an empty span in there with just a class name of, so we might start it with one single span. We'll just put an empty span in here to start, and we'll modify the span. So we'll always have at least one in there, and we'll splice this. We'll splice 0, I believe. And then we want to splice in a span with the current word. I think this should be 1. So why is tags.splice not working? Here we go. Okay, so this did not push. Doesn't seem to push an empty span. We might need to add the next one as well because we're always going to be splicing. So we might need to push 2 things. We might need to also tags.push and then push another empty span to start modifying instead of modifying the space. And then we might also need to do the same thing whenever we update this guy. That we always have a span to slice or splice. So we say what's poppin', brand new. Okay, that still works. Let's grab a whip. Okay, that's no bueno. Oh, you know what? This should be an else if. It's not a space character. Okay, so that's crisis averted. Oh, let's remove that poll and let's grab the whip again. So brand new whip. Just hopped in. Yeah, I got options. Boom. Okay, that's working. And maybe we add grandma here. I don't know. That might not be grandma. And now what happens if we post it? I have no idea what it's going to look like. Okay, it works, but we need to do the same exact thing for our display content. So now I think what we do is we take that same exact thing, this convert post content to elements, and we bring this into our post. That way we can display the correct things. Now the only thing is we don't have these. We can just, I guess, cheap out. Let's go ahead and copy this, go into our post and post.tsx. Now instead of content, hopefully this might be too big actually. We'll just see what it looks like. Inside of content, instead of saying this, we're gonna go ahead and convert this. And then we're gonna pass in the content like that. Let's go ahead and import this. And then let's also go ahead and import that other CSS. Now I do not like this at all. We shouldn't be doing it like this, but I don't want to recreate this. So post is inside, so we need feed / components / feed post creator / feed post creator .css. Is this the best way to do this? Probably not. If this doesn't work, we might have to actually create a function especially for this. I think that's probably too big. We could do this. So the other option is we could pass in the class or where this is being used. So location string. What we could do is this. We could wrap this like so. This is going to be really, really ugly. But we can basically say location equal to, and we can say creator question mark. It'll be paragraph. Otherwise, it'll be post - content - paragraph, I guess. It's not really a paragraph. It's actually a span. So I'm going to go ahead and call this span. Do the same thing here. So location equal to creator question mark. Inside of this one, paste, it'll be this. Otherwise, it'll be post - this was something else though, right? Let's not do that. Let's just do this, I guess. I just want to be safe and not break everything. So here, location equal to creator question mark. We'll do feed post creator content emoji. Otherwise, it'll be post - content - emoji, I guess. And then we can copy and paste the same exact class name for the rest of these. Copy this one, paste the class name in here, and here, and in here. We could have made a function that outputted a string probably. So now if we go into our feed post creator, it's going to complain because we need to pass in creator. Save that, and then inside of our post, we'll pass in post. If we need to expand this, we can. Except I need to make sure I pass in the right spot. And we need to update this. Like I said, we can update it later to have like a switch case or something. Now this is really big, but we say hello, put an emoji in here. Cool. So now obviously we need to style this up. This is super scuffed. So now let's go into our post. Let's grab this guy. So first we'll do the post content span. And I might want to side by side the CSS because this is going to be the same except for the size of the font. So post.css dot this. So I'm guessing we'll just do width is fit content and height is fit content, and then font size will be 15px. Although, let's see, we have a content in here, don't we? I don't think we need this. We can add all of this though. We have a margin on that. We don't want a margin on that. We'll have to put the margin somewhere else. Let's just paste all this. So we already got the font size. And then for the image, or not the image, but for whatever it's called, we might need to go into feed or feed post creator and find the emoji. So we did height, width, and some margin. So let's go ahead and just grab this guy and let's go into post.css. And I think this is post content dash emoji. This one is not as important. Like these two aren't as important to get right just because, I mean, I guess you can highlight them, but it's not going to be automatically updating or dynamically updating. So yeah, that looks good. Cool. So there's that. That looks pretty good. We might want some margin on the bottom of, we might keep the content thing. So we might keep this post content. This stuff doesn't matter as much, but we can throw this on a div. So if we come back into creator post, although we still have it, right? Oh, okay, no, we're fine. Yeah, that's good. Okay, that's why there's still stuff there. So that's good to go. I think that's basically it for this guy. So now I'm thinking maybe we start messing with replies. I think you can reply to your own content. I'm not 100% sure, but I think you can. But I'm thinking maybe whenever we click on this, maybe we first see what the pop-up looks like and then we go from there. But I think what we want to do is we already have, if we come into here, I need to think if we want the reply to just be a regular old post or if we want a special thing or a special object for the reply. So what does the post object look like? I guess we already have reply. So reply is a post. I think that we do want to go ahead and add a Boolean called isReply. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll just put it under here, post a date. I guess it doesn't really matter where it is. At column name equal to is_reply. And nullable will be true because we already have a whole bunch of posts in there that I'm not going to update. Private Boolean, and then we say reply, maybe that'll work. And then let's see, so what does our constructor look like? So we do have an all args. Let's regenerate the all args again. If I were to redo this, I definitely would use a Lombok here. Okay, that's fine. And then down here, let's go ahead and, so I'm a little bit concerned. Well, it might be okay. We might run into issues with this toString. Generate getter and setter or reply, get reply. So here we're going to go ahead and say if reply is equal to null, return false. We'll just assume it's not a reply. Otherwise, return the reply. We can also set the reply, and then we'll go ahead and do the over the toString. So paste in a generate toString, grab everything. So that should be fine here. The only other thing that we might want to do is first, let's check our post controller. So let's go ahead and make a new DTO, new, and then yeah, Java class. We'll call this create. Whoops, create reply DTO. So we need the private original post. So we'll say post and original post. Okay, we need the reply. So private reply. Or let's say reply content. Okay, this will be a string. So this is whatever we send back to them. And then what else do we need? So we're gonna have Boolean and scheduled. So I'm just lazy, so I'm gonna paste these. Finally, we'll have private poll. Let's go ahead and import this. I think that's everything we really need. Obviously, we want to add getters and setters. Honestly, scheduled should be a date time. Let's check post really quick. This should be a local date time. Probably is going to break a lot of stuff. I just realized that needs to have the time in it. So let's fix these. So this should be local date time. And then down here, this would be local date time. And here, local date time. Let's see, create post. And that made that massive. Of course it did. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care about this anymore. Can go away. All right, so we need to update the DTO. So create post DTO. This will now be a local date time. This will also be a local date time. That's the schedule date though, right? That's not even the actual date. So I just set posted date, but we also need to set the schedule date. This should also be local date time. We're gonna fall behind here, but it is what it is. Schedule date should be local date time as well. We'll get all this fixed eventually. Post a date and get post a date, okay. And our schedule date should be a local date time. And then this should be a local date time, because we need the date and time for when it was scheduled. Okay, so now inside of our create post DTO, so we don't have the date that this one was created just because we're passing it later. So this one should be a local date time. And this should be a local date time. And create reply, this should be a local date time. Now post service, this should be a new, I don't know if this is gonna work, local date time. We might be able to say local date time dot now and import this. And it seems like there's another issue somewhere. Yeah, here. So here, local date time dot now. Now the consequences it's going to have down the pipeline, who knows? But I want to kind of get reply going here. So create reply, I think that's good for this. We'll generate some getters and setters. So generate a constructor with none. We'll generate a constructor with everything. And we'll generate getters and setters. I don't necessarily think we need a toString for this. Okay, so we'll have the post that we're replying to, the content that we're replying, and then if there's a pull on it or whatever, and if there's an image attached to it, we'll send the image through something else. Although I don't remember how we deal with GIFs. Let's do this. So we'll go ahead and make an app post mapping to /reply. And this will go ahead and return a public post, create reply at request, request body. And this will take in a create reply DTO, and we will simply return post service dot create reply, which we do not own yet, and this will take in the reply DTO. Okay, so let's go ahead and create this in our post service. Public post, and this will be to create reply, and this will take in a create reply DTO. I'm just going to call it DTO just to make it easy on ourselves. And let's do this. And we will return null for now. So the first thing we need to do is create the post, which we could probably just straight up call create post. Okay, so we do need the image, the GIF, because we could have the URL for the GIF. So let's go ahead and add that in here. So we will want images on here. So I forget what this is like. We'll say list of images. Yeah, I guess you can't make multiple replies here, so that's fine. So let's go ahead and do this and add the list of images, because possibly we could return the image. I'm trying to think of what is missing from create post now. I mean, obviously we have original post. I guess we don't have author. So let's go ahead and add the author as well. So private application user author, because we do want to know who created the reply. Okay, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and regenerate this. We'll go ahead and generate the constructor. Then we'll generate those last couple things. Generate getters and setters. Okay, that's fine. Now that basically has everything other than replies, which will just have an empty set, audience and reply restriction, which we can just set to everyone. Okay, so now back into our post service. I think what we do is we create a new create post DTO with that data that we have. So let's go ahead and say create post DTO post DTO equal to a new create post DTO. Okay, so we have DTO dot get content, get reply content. We need the application user, so DTO dot get author. Whoops. DTO dot get author. So we need the set of replies. So we'll just say new set of post. Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing, buddy? Don't do that. Nuh-uh. No, thank you. New set. New hash set. Okay. What else do we need? So we need the replies. We need the images. So we can say DTO dot get images. And then we need our scheduled. So DTO dot get scheduled. So yeah, DTO dot get scheduled date. What else do we need or want? And let's start cleaning this up a little bit. After this, we need audience. So audience dot everyone. We need reply restriction. So reply restriction dot everyone. And finally, poll would be DTO dot get poll. Okay, we have a post DTO, and then we're going to go ahead and return create post because I don't want to rewrite this logic. So although we're going to go ahead and say post reply is equal to create post with our post DTO, because we also need to get the other post. So we can say DTO dot get original post dot, so we're going to have to say set a post and original post replies equal to DTO dot get original post dot get replies. And we'll say, and I spelled original wrong, so let me go ahead and fix that. Original, there we go. Original post replies dot add. We're going to go ahead and add our reply. And then we're also going to go ahead and say post repo dot save. We're going to go ahead and save the, I guess we need to update that original post. So let's say post original is equal to DTO dot get original post original dot set. Shoot, we need to set the reply. But we'll set replies equal to original post replies. And we'll go ahead and save original. That'll update that and we'll return this. So we need to deal with this because our create post DTO, the lazy way would be to say this. Reply dot set reply to true. That'd be the lazy way to do it. We can set reply to true, and then we can say post repo dot save reply. This is the lazy way to do this. Will it work? I don't know. But we already set up the post controller, right? Post controller already has slash reply. So I guess let's go into Postman and see how much of a mess we can make. Now the thing that sucks is we need the original post. So let's change this. So original post, let's change this to an integer to make our lives easier. And now inside of here, we'll make this an integer. Okay. And this will be an integer. And this will be an integer. Now this is going to break some things, but it's fine. It's going to break some things inside of post service. So now instead of original, we'll say post original is equal to post repo dot get by ID. Might be find by ID. Find by ID, and we'll pass in the DTO dot get original post dot or else throw, I guess. And we'll say unable to, I guess, unable to save post or create post exception for now. Probably should be like a 404 or something. But now we should be able to say original dot get replies. and that should be fine. And that'll make it a little bit easier on ourselves. The poll can just be an empty object. I don't know what else to add here, so let's go to our create post DTO. As long as we know the ID of the original post, that'll be fine. So if I'm gonna open up dbeaver on the side and look at our post. Now I'm opening up Postman. We make a new folder, and this will be posts, and let's make a new post request, and this will be a post request to reply, and this will be http:// localhost 8000. I think it's /post/reply. Let me just double check that. /post/reply. This will take in, we'll need to be authenticated. So one, we'll need authorization. I haven't even tried to log in, but the token, actually no auth, we want it in headers. The tokens last forever, so I can just yoink it from organization, I guess, because I think organization has it. Yep, so let's grab this, copy this. I want to just kind of get this done tonight, and then that'll probably be it, and then we can work on front end stuff later. So there's that. Now what do I want to do? So now we need a body of raw JSON, and then I'm just going to go into our Java code and copy the create post DTO. We need the author shoot. I don't really feel like putting all that data in, and I don't know if we can get away with putting just the ID. We can try. We could try this. I don't think it's gonna work, but you never know. And then original post is just an integer. So I can grab the original post I want to reply to. So let's just say I'm replying to a post that I created, and it's 103. 103. I expect we're going to debug this, so the reply content, we'll just say test reply or something. Test reply, it's not going to have anything crazy in it. Images will just be an empty array. So that'll be easy enough. Okay. Boolean scheduled, we'll just set to false. I don't know why you would want to schedule a, I guess it's probably a troll thing. Like, oh, remind me whenever this happens or whatever. And then people will actually do that. And then scheduled date will just be null, I guess. Oops. Null. It could probably be an empty string. And then finally, you know what? This post isn't going to exist, so let's just go ahead and go to post 1. I just realized we have to refresh, so that won't exist anymore, but 1 will because I created it immediately. And then finally, poll will just be an empty object. Let's go ahead and do that, and it'll be an empty object. So before we run this, I'm going to save. All right, so now here's the moment of pain. We're going to try to reply to a post. I don't think this is going to work. It might work, I don't know, but the original post should exist. Test reply should exist. We do need to go ahead and restart our server though for this to work. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, Twitter started. Come back into Postman and send. Okay, 500. Looks like it was an issue with the poll actually. Let's completely stop the application. We changed the table. So let's try this really quick. I forgot to change. I think it failed for actually. Okay, now it started. So I guess we need to set this to null instead of an empty object. Okay, that's good to know. So let's try again. Okay, it created a post. Obviously, author is broken, but it has the timestamp and everything. Okay, post 102 is probably right. That's fine. Everyone can view it. Schedule dates null, that's fine. I think this is fine. Now I'm curious if we go into our dbeaver. Let's see if the replies pop up. And I also want to see what happens if we pull our post. I pull our dbeaver and I go into the post. Obviously it showed up. So refresh. I can't believe that just worked. Test reply, and it is a reply, so it's true. And then if we go into our, so I guess this was like post reply junction. Look at the data. Yeah, so we have the post and then the reply. This post is a reply to post number 1. So we should be able to use that table to get data to populate our front end. So yeah, and then obviously we also want to deal with post or reply with images, which what we'd probably do is do the same thing we did whenever we create media post. So we just grab the string post again, although this will be interesting. We'll probably say string post and then create a DTO, although we don't use the DTO, we just use the object mapper. I think that's gonna do it though. We got a bit done and it's getting pretty late. It's already 11 o'clock, so I think I am gonna call it there. Tomorrow we'll pick back up on the front end, getting these replies working so we can at least start doing text replies, and then if we get past the text reply, we can start working on doing non-text replies, so like reply with images and GIFs. But I think we're gonna have our hands full working on the reply creator basically. So it's basically a modal with some with the person's content and some other stuff. So we have some work to do on the front end. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you all for stopping by, everyone that liked the stream, also everyone that's watched at this point. Inside the actual video itself, I know these are super long videos, so I appreciate it. As always, I'm Ethan, or No Coder. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next episode or a live stream. Peace out, everyone.